surprising move by the mayor's office over BRAVE contracts one day after questions were raised about who got them.
There's a plan on the table in Washington to fix the Affordable Care Act. Republicans turn to Democrats to come up with a deal.
And LSU one step closer to keeping its live mascot tradition going. The latest on the university's search for a new mic.
Looks like we'll have a little bit of cool air across the area today. We'll talk about how long that'll last coming up.
We have overnight construction on the west side. I'll have all the details straight ahead.
Now, from WBRZ News 2, this is Tune In.
It's 5 a.m. Good morning, South Louisiana. We're glad you could tune in on this Wednesday, August 2nd. I'm John Pinster.
Good morning. I'm Kylie Dix, along with Ashley and Robert, who's in for Josh.
Good morning.
I just love seeing construction, lights flashing,
Right,
lots of headlights in the morning.
Lots of headlights, but not a lot of tail lights, so that means not a whole lot of delay, but we'll talk about that in just a moment.
Okay, and 73, it's not bad out this morning.
Yeah, not too bad. In fact, we'll likely stay out of the 90s, but that comes at a cost because we might see some more showers over the next couple days.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and take a look. 71 degrees right now in Ponchatoula. Feels like 71. Winds are calm. And that humidity starting to climb back up. If we take a look at the satellite and radar, not looking at too much at this moment, but we do see some showers up there toward the northwest near Cenla, Alexandria, Natchitoches Parish, those areas. We're going to start to see several scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day today. Futurecast showing that high resolution. Now, a majority of the rain's likely going to remain toward the south. Now, I know you can see the Futurecast is showing rain all over. This tends to be a little bit aggressive a lot of the times, but this will show you that later toward the afternoon, early evening hours is when we're going to begin to see some rain. So overall, still calling for about 30% of the area to see showers today, and that'll be again closer toward the afternoon and evening hours. Temperatures only getting into the mid 80s, although it'll feel like the upper 80s, could feel like the lower 90s as well. We're going to be a little bit cooler today as a result of the showers, and then today just starts another wet pattern. As we move into the next several days, we're going to see more showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Tomorrow likely being the wettest day. We're going to take a look at the next 3 days at least in the next 10 minutes or so. Right now, let's jump to traffic with Ashley.
Thank you, Robert. Well, traffic right now, we're starting off with no major accidents or breakdowns, but I did tell you about that construction at the top of the show. So what we have going on is on the west side, the left lane is blocked at LA 415. This is going to be on I-10, of course. So what they're doing here is just wrapping up some road work. So they have installed cable barriers in this area, and they just need to do some little side work. So they're still closing off that lane for the time being. It should wrap up around 5 a.m., but at this time, no delays. Right now, we're seeing no major backups on I-10 through Baton Rouge, a 4-minute drive from the 1012 up towards the I-10 110. This morning, LA1 looking nice and quiet, and your Plaquemine Ferry is in service. You can find that info and more on WBRZ Traffic. Let's take a look outside and check on that construction. So you can see the left lane is blocked. This is, again, westbound right around LA 415. Just a minimal delay in the area, just right around where they've blocked off that lane, but nothing excessive. And the work is scheduled to wrap up a couple of minutes ago, so we'll check on it in 10. Back to you guys.
All right, Ashley, thank you very much. On the crime beat this morning, traffic on I-12 brought to a standstill on Tuesday after a reported shooting.
It appears the victim was inside a private vehicle that stopped on the interstate. The shooting actually happened on O'Neill Lane near the interstate around 9 p.m. The person injured has what's described as life-threatening injuries. The investigation into this shooting is ongoing, and we could get more information from police later today. Baton Rouge police arrested this man in a deadly stabbing over the weekend. 42-year-old Miguel Lopez is charged in the death of 41-year-old Sarah Hernandez. Her body was found Sunday at a home on Goodwood Boulevard. Police say Hernandez had multiple cuts to her body. Investigators believe her death was the result of a domestic dispute.
Breaking overnight, the search for a missing person in Livingston Parish over. Victim reportedly fell into a waterway in the Port Vincent area, never came back up. After hours of searching, a body was found. At this point, officials haven't released any details about the victim. The search will resume this morning in Shreveport for a missing boy. Now, this 7-year-old is believed to have been swept away by rushing water after falling into a flooded drainage ditch. City officials are now considering adding safety grates over open drains in residential areas to prevent another accident like this from happening again.
A Big Rig driver is in the hospital this morning after a violent crash on the interstate in West Baton Rouge. Tuesday's incident happened on this stretch of I-10 just before the LA 415 exit, an area known for accidents. Authorities say the trucker was passing through our area from Texas, heading east, when he slammed into standstill traffic stretching from the bridge to 415. The man had to be cut out of the truck, then airlifted to the hospital in critical condition. A young doctor in training was in the area at the time and rushed to help before first responders arrived.
I was just on my way back to Lafayette to visit family when I came across the accident scene. What went through my mind was just hoping for the best. And that's usually, I think, what most people, when they see the situation, you know, you kind of fight your thoughts of the worst case scenario.
Last month, the state put up signs as a warning to drivers of possible slowdowns. This comes after a truck driver broke his arm during a crash in the same spot, and 2 other times in the month before, killing 1 driver and sending 2 others to the hospital. And that wasn't the only thing emergency officials had to respond to in Port Allen. This truck fire at a gas station kept fire officials busy. A tractor trailer hauling frozen shrimp to California caught on fire at the pump. The 2 men driving the truck from Fresno said their refrigerator unit started smoking just as they had pulled in. They tried to back it out, but were too late. The panic caught on multiple cameras, but luckily no one was hurt.
Well, a driver pulled up on the fuel island right there to get fuel, and his reefer unit started the fire. And by the time they shut the fuel off, the whole truck was engulfed in flames.
Bad. You had people honking and yelling at each other because there was nothing that they could do. I see this quite often as a truck driver. It's happened numerous times. There's emergency shutoff valves to where if there's a fire, it's either at each pump individually or up along the side of the building.
The exact cause of the fire is under investigation.
Looking ahead, a detour for some drivers in Livingston Parish starting today. Single lane of traffic will be placed on the new south roundabout at LA 447 I-12 interchange. The new roundabouts are expected to increase safety and alleviate traffic in Walker. Now, to avoid construction, Ashley's telling drivers to take U.S. Highway 190 to Jubin Road to I-12. 2 more meetings scheduled this week for flood victims. Restore Louisiana will be talking to people today in East Baton Rouge Parish at the library up in Baker. Representatives will be there to provide assistance to homeowners. Another session is scheduled tomorrow in Livingston Parish at the Denham Walker Library branch. All those sessions are from 3 to 7 p.m. So far, less than 30 homes have completed the process through Restore Louisiana. That process is expected to speed up.
LSU 1 step closer to getting a new live mascot. The university's top candidate is in Florida and could possibly be on campus soon to continue the live tiger tradition. LSU has its eye on a 160-pound, 9-month-old rescue tiger. The tiger, with both Siberian and Bengal traits, is currently being hosted or housed at a wildlife center in Florida. However, no new tiger will be on campus until upgrades are complete to the multi-million-dollar tiger habitat.
Updating the pool, they're updating the the pole in the middle. They're also doing kind of some minor repair things. So light fixtures that needed to be replaced. There was a leak in a wall. Nothing that would have put a person or a tiger in danger.
The new tiger will be kept in the night house for about a week until the quarantine period is over. If that goes well, the tiger will officially be declared Mike the 7th. Mike 6 died from cancer last fall. We'll take a look at this big catch at this year's Tarpon Rodeo. Oh my goodness. Dr. J.J. Tabor, surgeon at Our Lady of the Lake, reeled this massive grouper during the tournament. According to the Louisiana Sportsman, Tabor set the record for the biggest Warsaw grouper back in 2008 when he caught a 360-pounder. The most recent catch set a new record at more than 380 pounds. That is crazy. That looks fake. It looks photoshopped.
Well, I tell you what, and he actually went after that fish. I read in the paper about how he went and had special baits, and they went really, really deep in the water to get that. Well, you know, he's now a grouper groupie.
It looks photoshopped. Congratulations to him. Congratulations. Hey, still come on this Wednesday. We'll tell you about the possible audit into the BRAVE program, where the money is and isn't going. As we wake up this morning, 9 contracts associated with the program are suspended. All the details coming up.
Plus, the heat is on. Extreme heat. A rare heat wave hitting parts of the country. Triple digits hitting Seattle for the 3rd time in more than 100 years.
Crazy.
It's hot out there. How hot is it going to get here? We'll find out straight away. But right now, 5:09, 72 degrees outside. Don't go away. All these tune-in groupies are just getting started.
Morning, everyone. Post-tropical storm Emily off the coast of Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, making its way up into the Atlantic. Really not a worry for any of us here in the Gulf Coast. You can see by Wednesday and Thursday it'll move even further out at a faster speed, but sustained winds will be at 30 miles per hour or less. A little bit further closer to home, you can see a few clouds across the area, but there's a few more disturbances to look at. Now, these have a 10% chance of development by Friday. Really not looking at much of anything, but just to let you know that the National Hurricane Center is keeping an eye on them. There's a system in the middle of the Gulf. Now, there was a low chance of Emily to form too over the last several days, but it formed within 24 to 48 hours. So keep an eye on this one, but at the moment, really not too worried about it. And then there's this one also off the coast of South America. What we can see is that also about a 10% chance of development by Friday. So this one's way far away, so we're really not worried about that one, but we'll keep an eye on the Gulf as we get progressively closer toward the peak of hurricane season. Radar showing showers up in northern Louisiana to start the morning. Not seeing much of that here in the southeast. We will see that, however, a little bit later in the afternoon, expecting to see some isolated showers, mainly south of Baton Rouge. Most of us this far north and inland should be fairly dry. Temperature 72 in Baton Rouge, 77 in New Orleans, 75 up in Ellick, 76 in Monroe, and 74 in Shreveport. So we're all about the same. Definitely a little bit more humidity this morning across the area than yesterday morning. Not going to reap the benefits of those northeast winds anymore. Those winds are going to shift more toward the east and the southeast, and we're going to start to see more humidity along the Gulf Coast. You can see lots of yellow in now to East Texas and most of the state of Louisiana. So that mugginess is back. I told you it wouldn't last forever. Now, a few places might be in the 60s across the Florida parishes of southwest Mississippi, but right now we're looking at pretty much the lower 70s everywhere except New Orleans. They're in the mid to upper 70s. By the afternoon, we'll likely stay out of the 90s. We'll see some showers, though, again, mainly areas south of Baton Rouge toward the coast. We'll see the best chance of some isolated showers. About 30% of us will see anything, and then lows down into the mid 70s. Well, real quick, you can see a few showers today, but expecting even more tomorrow. Let's go ahead and get an update now with Ashley.
Thank you, Robert. Right now, we're just seeing some construction on the west side. The left lane is still blocked at LA 415 as they do some road work there in the area. The road work itself is finished. It's about those cable barriers, but they just need to do some side work. Earthen work is what they're calling it. So they're going to be kind of smoothing out some areas on the side of the road, so that requires them to close off the left lane. And as we told you about a few moments ago, there's a new road layout on LA 447 southbound. Right now, they're trying to work on those roundabouts at the I-12 interchange. So for now, they're going to reduce the roadway down to one lane. It will cause some delays in that area. Eventually, when they're finished with the roundabouts, it will have 2 full lanes open. But right now, you can avoid that by taking 190 down to Jubin. Let's go ahead and take a look outside on the west side. Here we have that left lane still blocked off. But right now, the delays are very minimal traveling westbound on I-10. All right, there's your traffic report. Let's toss it back to news.
All right, Ashley, thank you very much. Well, after a few days, the search for the final escaped inmate out of Alabama is over.
Yeah, the search ended in another state some 10 hours away. 24-year-old Brady Kilpatrick was picked up in South Florida. He was one of 12 prisoners who authorities say outsmarted a new guard using peanut butter to change the number over the door. The inmates busted out, threw a blanket over a barbed wire fence, and fled. Local residents are calling for jail officials to be more careful.
Do better checks. And if there's something with the locks or whatever, they need to get that done. Because, I mean, it was 12. I don't know what their history was, but, I mean, they need to be more careful and be more concerned about the community and these people getting loose.
Authorities say no jail guards or citizens were injured while the prisoners were on the run.
Private investigators filed a lawsuit against Fox News over the death of a Democratic National Committee staffer. Seth Rich was shot to death last July in Washington during what police say was an attempted robbery. Rod Wheeler was hired to investigate his death. The suit filed by Wheeler alleges that the White House and Fox News conspired to push a false story about Democratic leaks and the unsolved killing of Rich in order to distract attention from the Russia investigation swirling around President Trump. Christopher Wray is the new FBI director. Wray, confirmed by the Senate, will replace Fire Director James Comey. Previously served as a high-ranking official in President George Bush's Justice Department and also represented New Jersey Governor Chris Christie during the Bridgegate scandal.
The fight to repeal and replace Obamacare isn't over for Republicans in Congress. They plan to reach out to Democrats to make it happen. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more on the latest health care efforts.
Days after the Republican effort to repeal and replace Obamacare crumbled in the Senate, now a new hope.
I think we can resolve those problems, but it's going to take more bipartisan work. We have a lot of bipartisan discussions going on right now, more than we've had in months.
Both sides are calling for a solution, with Republican Senator Lamar Alexander and Democratic Senator Patty Murray teaming up, saying they want to see federal payments to insurers that help millions of low and moderate income Americans afford coverage continue for at least another year. But President Trump has threatened just the opposite, tweeting, if a new health care bill is not approved quickly, bailouts end very soon. And he's repeatedly said the only alternative to a repeal is to let Obamacare fail.
Let Obamacare explode. It is exploding right now.
You know, I said from the beginning, let Obamacare implode and then do it.
Some senators now ignoring those threats from the president.
For now, what we need is stability in the marketplace, and those payments contribute to that. So I would hope you would continue to make them.
You don't hurt innocent people, Mr. President, when you lose politically. That is not presidential. That is not, frankly, what an adult does.
And they warned that without this stability and an effort to fix what's wrong with the current 2010 healthcare law, consumers could face sharp increases in their premiums and a shrinking number of insurance options. And those increases could be severe. The Wall Street Journal reports that some insurance companies are saying their premiums could jump 30% or higher if Congress doesn't stabilize the markets. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Washington.
A police officer in Texas is recovering from some serious injuries after he got hit by a drunk driver last month. The officer was hit by a vehicle as he walked to a car pulled over on a traffic stop. The officer was thrown but able to get up and walk and able to detain the drunk driver. The officer, however, did suffer a hyperextended foot and fractured vertebrae. iPhone users, it's not your ears burning, it's your skin.
Your skin.
Leaks.
Yeah, big recall involving more than 250,000 iPhone cases. ABC's Candace and Diane have all the details in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a big recall of iPhone cases.
Mixbin Electronics, which makes the liquid glitter-filled cases, is recalling more than 250,000 of them. That's after reports of severe chemical burns and skin irritations when the cases break.
24 people have reported injuries.
Amazon is set to hire thousands of new employees today on the spot at job fairs across the country.
The retail giant says it's looking to fill 50,000 open positions, full-time and part-time, from sorting and packing up to management. And Ford is making its newest Mustang more neighborly.
You might say that. Here's what the Mustang GT usually sounds like. And the 2018 Mustang has a quiet mode, so you don't have to annoy your neighbors. Listen. The quiet mode button makes the engine half as loud.
All right, well, thank you, neighbors. Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Welcome back, everyone. Weather headlines showing that the humidity is back as well as some of the showers. However, most of the showers will be areas south of Baton Rouge, mainly down toward the coast. So that includes Ascension, Assumption, down toward St. Mary Parish as well. Most of the area will stay fairly dry north of Baton Rouge, but more tomorrow. We'll see more scattered and unsettled weather tomorrow as we move into the morning and the afternoon hours. And then the tropics, Emily's gone, but we're watching a couple other areas overall. Then they're not a huge threat at this moment. Now, taking a look at the U.S. temperatures, we'd mentioned earlier in the broadcast, very warm morning for areas of the Pacific Northwest. The Emerald City showing a temperature of 70 degrees, 72 in Portland. Compare that to 72 in Baton Rouge, 75 in Dallas, 79 in San Antonio, 76 in Miami. So we're not the warmest spots. You can see Tucson is at 80. But the big difference is we got a lot of that water vapor here, making that humidity make the temperature feel thusly a lot warmer than it actually is. Now, Seattle is actually dealing with some pretty high dew points as well. Area of high pressure over Arkansas at the moment. That's shifted a little bit back toward the east, but we're going to start to see the effects of this trough as it moves further toward the north. This is what was the cold front just a couple days ago. Now it's really lost all identification or characteristics of a cold front. It's pretty much the same temperature on both sides, but it is still a disturbance. And so that's one reason why we're looking at the development potentially of a tropical system off of that. But again, there's only about a 10% chance of development of anything in the Gulf over the next 2 days. However, that's how we saw Emily form as well. You want to be careful when we see cold fronts this late in the year, this in the summer, I guess you could say, potentially causing some storms. Now, as this moves back toward the north, it's going to bring us some more scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially tomorrow. As far as the water vapor imagery, things are starting to get a little bit more moist across the area. You can see drier air up toward Oklahoma, but overall here in the southeast, we're looking at some pretty decent weather. Looks like my graphics freezing a little bit there. So I'll continue to talk about this for a couple seconds. You can see most of the dry air over Arkansas not going to quite reach our area until tomorrow. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes and we'll get another update with these graphics. Looks like they're frozen. I'll toss it back over to Ashley.
All right, thank you, Robert. Well, traffic right now looks pretty good around town. No problems as far as accidents and breakdowns. We have a couple of things going on, though. We have that construction on the west side. It's not really causing too much of a delay. And we also have slowdowns traveling westbound over the river. This is normal traffic. We typically see that. So right now, a 3 to 5 minute drive, Washington, LA1. That's your bridge traffic. That's over I-10 westbound. Now, LA1 southbound is showing a slowdown as well. 20 minutes from Port Allen to Plaquemine at this time. Typically, it's about a 14-minute drive, so you can see there is a little delay in that area. Right now, your Plaquemine ferry is in service. No issues with that crossing over the river. Let's take a look outside and check on the construction over near LA 415. Again, the left lane is still blocked at this time, but not too much of a delay. We still have some construction crews out there. You can see that also on the right-hand side of your screen and a car over to the side here. So this is just one of our construction zones that we're dealing with this morning, but no major backups. All right, let's toss it to Kylie and JP.
Thank you, Ashley. Coming up, Louisiana has crowned a new Teacher of the Year.
And she's the reason why the West Side is the best side. Why Bruley High is celebrating this morning. We're going to meet the Teacher of the Year coming up. But right now, 5:27 on this Wednesday morning. Nice start to the morning traffic-wise and weather-wise. 72 degrees. Stay with us. Tuning continues right after this.
You're watching Tune In on WBRZ.
Good morning, and thanks for tuning in on this Wednesday, August 2nd. I'm Kylie Dixon.
Good morning. I'm John Passweg, and our top story, an investigation in Baton Rouge in a reported shooting. Very few details are known this morning about what happened on O'Neill Lane near the interstate, but this was the scene last night around 9 o'clock when a car stopped on I-12. The shooting victim said to have been transported to a local hospital by a private vehicle instead of emergency officials. We're still waiting to get more information from Baton Rouge police about what unfolded, and we'll have an update as soon as that information comes in.
Looking for a job and willing to move? Amazon is hiring. The company is holding a multi-state job fair today, hoping to hire 50,000 people on the spot. The jobs include sorting and shipping and will be full and part-time positions. Amazon growth comes at a time when traditional retailers are closing stores and cutting jobs.
Oh, you did?
No, not me.
Oh.
Are you looking for a job?
Yeah, no.
Robert's looking for a job. I think you'd do good at Amazon.
Amazon, yeah, it'd probably be a lot of work, too.
You're a pretty good meteorologist. We'll stick with that today.
Thank you. Somebody. No.
Well, it kind of feels like the Amazon out there this morning.
A little bit, yeah, we do. That was nice. We had a lot of, definitely a lot more humidity across the area this morning. In fact, you'll feel that in the air. That'll help fuel some showers over the next couple days. Expecting more scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, and it's actually getting closer and closer toward the peak of hurricane season now. So we're looking at a couple areas out there, but nothing too intense. It's 69 right now in Little Rock, 75 in Dallas, 72 here in the Red Stick, 76 in Tallahassee, already up to 80 degrees in Tampa, as well as Tucson. As we take a look down in the Gulf, there is what is left of that cold front. It's now a disturbance really more than anything. It's just a trough, and because it's going to be the same temperature on either side of that trough. Now, what's going to happen is this trough is going to move back toward the north, and that will unfortunately increase our chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms over the next several days. And you can see here we have not a lot of moisture in the air, or we have more moisture in the air now as we did yesterday, despite some of that dry air coming up from the north. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the futurecast. You can see a couple isolated showers today, mainly south of Baton Rouge, and then as we move into tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon, that's when we can expect a better chance of showers as that trough slowly pushes its way closer toward the North Gulf Coast. And we'll see more scattered showers continue on Friday. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Looking at the most coverage tomorrow, still looking at a lot of coverage on Friday as well. Some of that lingering into Saturday and Sunday a bit. Then Monday and Tuesday becoming more isolated in nature. It looks like we'll stay out of the 90s with the rainfall. Lows back into the mid-70s, showing that the humidity is going to be here to stay for a little while. Overall, it's going to be pretty wet. You might need an umbrella if you're south of Baton Rouge today. Otherwise, we're all going to need an umbrella over the next several days. Let's go ahead and get an update now with traffic. And Ashley Fruge.
Thank you, Robert. Well, traffic right now looks pretty good around the capital city. We saw some slowdowns on the bridge that have since cleared up just moments ago. It's not too bad out there. Looks like we do have a little slowdown on LA1, though. Let's talk about the new road layout. LA 447 starting today. Southbound will be reduced to 1 lane at the I-12 interchange. There could be some delays in that area. They're working on those roundabouts, and eventually the roundabouts will have 2 lanes, and it should ease any traffic concerns. Checking out the alternate route, you could take 190 to Jubin to I-12 instead if you feel like avoiding that. All right, let's take a look outside and check on the west side. Still have some construction going on. The left lane is still blocked ahead. This is LA 415 westbound on I-12. Some construction crews still out on the scene. This was supposed to wrap at 5. It looks like it's lasting a little bit longer. The good news is there are no delays from this. All right, there's your traffic report. Let's toss you back to news.
All right, Ashley, thank you very much. Well, 9 contracts associated with the BRAVE program in Baton Rouge are now suspended.
It's a follow-up from the investigative unit. The suspension includes all contracts from mid-June through July. They're all tied to the controversial deals made by Mayor Sharon Westenbrum's administration. Now, any BRAVE contracts moving forward must be approved by Mayor Broom or her chief administrative officer. BRAVE is a special task force which targets high crime areas in the city. One contract worth $17,500 went to Cleve Dunn Jr., a member of the mayor's transition team. His contract was to run transportation.
The question is, did even the mayor know that these 6 contracts were given and they were given to these people under whatever terms? That's something that people surely should be concerned about and worried about.
I received information today that they were aware. I didn't know if they were aware or they weren't aware. I didn't know that had to be, that was mandated. But I did receive emails that I saw where particular Hilla Moore and others within the BRAVE program that I'm not familiar with were aware of the Runners Courier Service contract.
DA Hilla Moore says what Dunn is referring to was an email that said his contract would go before the Metro Council. It never did, and Dunn got the contract anyway. We were not able to get a comment from the mayor.
An investigation into a deadly shooting in Livingston Parish ends in 5 arrests, and authorities had to cross the border. Agents picked up 4 of the men just miles from the U.S.-Mexico border. The 5th suspect was arrested in Livingston Parish. They wanted for killing 61-year-old Rick McBride last month. Deputies believe at least 2 men were trying to break into McBride's house when he confronted them. It's unclear who shot McBride. Here are pictures of the 2 suspects. They're charged with first-degree murder and aggravated burglary. New law says juvenile killers can no longer be sentenced to life without a chance of freedom. The law brings the state in line with the Supreme Court ruling, which said that murderers convicted before the age of 18 could no longer be sentenced to life without parole. There are exceptions for extreme cases. Closer to home, take a look at this bizarre scene out of the New Orleans area. Man, you can see him right there on top of a parked train in Avondale, holding a machete and making threats. You can see the man pacing back and forth on the train as officers surrounded him. Police say the man has some sort of mental condition. The staff ended with no injuries.
Baton Rouge General will open a new hospital in Ascension Parish. It will be located on Highway 73 near I-10 in the Prairieville area. The 60,000 square foot neighborhood hospital will offer 14 emergency room beds and 10 inpatient beds. It will offer care for conditions that range from minor to life-threatening. Hospital officials say about 22,000 people from Ascension travel to Baton Rouge for treatment, but some residents have concerns.
Here, a lot of patients from Ascension end up at our hospital in Baton Rouge at Bluebonnet, and we thought what a great gift back to this community that it's so proud of itself and so proud of its growth, than to bring that closer to home.
The road system here is not designed for as many people that are here, and they're putting up new neighborhoods everywhere as well.
Parish officials declined an interview with News 2 to address traffic concerns. Governor John Bel Edwards has declared August Able to Save Month in Louisiana. ABLE means Achieving a Better Life Experience Act. The federal act, combined with state legislation, allows families with disabled children and individuals with disabilities to save for future expenses. It protects those savings without jeopardizing eligibility for public benefits like Medicaid and supplemental insurance. ABLE accounts have been available nationwide since June 2015. 48 states have passed the ABLE Act.
Well, coming up at 2 continues a royal retirement. the end of a great era in Great Britain. We've got the royal details.
And she's starting the school year as Louisiana's Teacher of the Year. We'll meet this West Baton Rouge wonder. Also coming up. Time now is 5:39, 72 degrees. You don't want to miss that story. It's all coming up.
Welcome back, everyone. 75 up in Rapides Parish, 72 in East Baton Rouge Parish, and 73 down in St. Mary Parish. 70 in Hammond and 71 in Macomb. You can see most of us in the mid to lower 70s. A little bit warmer down toward New Orleans and St. Bernard and Plaquemines parishes. They're in the upper 70s now. Something that we see today different than yesterday is that we do have a lot more humidity across the area, starting to feel a lot more like summer. So if you miss that summertime feel, well, you're in luck today. I don't know how many of you missed that. I mean, I know the temperatures don't bother you, but the humidity definitely does. Now, taking a look at the cloud cover, we're seeing more clouds this morning than yesterday morning. And the thing is, one thing that we're looking at is the chance for some more rain. You can see a couple isolated showers up toward the north, but overall things are dry in southeast Louisiana. We'll stay fairly dry, especially north of Baton Rouge, but as we get closer toward the coast, Baton Rouge down toward the coast, we can expect to see some isolated showers, likely later in the day. So it may not be as wet early this morning or in the afternoon, but once we get closer toward the evening hours, we'll see a couple of those isolated showers pop up. And you can see it here in the Futurecast. Moving through the morning, a couple isolated sprinkles down toward the coast, but later this evening is when we can expect a chance for a few isolated showers and thunderstorms. Nothing severe expected or anything, but that's when we're expecting the best chance of rain. And then tomorrow, things are going to get a little bit more unsettled, and we'll see more scattered showers and thunderstorms. So expect some mostly cloudy conditions throughout the day today. Not until we get closer into the evening will we see the chance of some isolated showers and thunderstorms. And so that's just a taste of what we'll see the next couple days. As a front comes in from the Gulf, that'll help really unsettle our weather pattern, bringing us some pretty wet conditions. Will that last through the weekend, however? Well, we'll likely see some scattered showers on Saturday. Not any 90s, though, as a benefit of that rainfall. And then Sunday, the rain tapers a little bit. Still some isolated showers in the forecast. But again, more isolated in nature, not as scattered. And so we'll still keep temperatures out of the 90s because of that. But overall, it's going to be a little bit wet for the next couple days. And nothing that we can't handle this time of year. Other than that, yeah, so bring your umbrella, not if you're south of Baton Rouge today. The rest of us will likely need it over the next several days. That's a look at weather. We'll take a look at the 7-day forecast in a bit. Let's now take a look now at traffic with Ashley.
Thank you, Robert. It is 5:44 and traffic right now looks pretty good around the capital city. A little slowdown on the bridge. Again, the yellows have popped up. It's mostly on the right-hand side. You just saw that yellow turn to green. So this area here is not too bad. Southbound over the intercoastal, just a bit of a slowdown as this is all normal before 6 a.m. Those slowdowns really do clear up past Addis this morning, and no problems with the Plaquemine Ferry. Checking out the Ascension roadways, we are seeing slowdowns, especially on Highway 73 southbound over in Dutchtown, and also 73 traveling towards Geismar as you're approaching LA 30. Let's take a look at the west side outside and see what's going on there this morning. We still have construction crews on the left-hand side as well as the right-hand shoulder. So past this construction zone with some caution. At this time, no delays on the west side. All right, let's toss it back to Kylie and JP.
All right, Ashley, thank you very much. Well, today ends a royal era in the UK. Prince Philip is officially bowing out of the spotlight. The 96-year-old Duke of Edinburgh is retiring, performing his final royal act today, attending a parade honoring Marines. Prince Philip has accompanied the Queen on her royal duties since 1952. Talk about a love story.
They say the west side is the best side, as in West Baton Rouge Parish.
And they are in education because that school district is the home to Louisiana's new Teacher of the Year. Let's meet her.
So whenever my name was called, like everything went, and it's like, and it halted and it stopped.
Kim Eckert, an English teacher at Bruley High School, is Louisiana's Teacher of the Year. She won the title at the 11th Annual Cecil J. Picard Educator Excellence Awards Gala, beating out the best of the best in Louisiana education. And the secret to her success in the classroom?
For me, from the moment I stepped foot in a classroom, there's so many demands in our world that we need to get these kids ready for their life. That's huge. And there's nothing I could teach you that you can copy over and over that's going to prepare you for a life. But I can give you skills. I can work on my skills. I can figure out what does the world need from you and what is your gift? What is the thing that we can amplify about you so that you can be confident whenever you graduate?
Kim now goes on to represent Louisiana in the National Teacher of the Year competition. She'll also travel around the state and the nation, from the schoolhouse to the White House, serving as Louisiana's education ambassador. She'll also be running the roads for the next year in this brand new Mercedes-Benz, one of the many perks she gets by winning the crown. And she won't have much time to celebrate, as school starts August 9th. And here's a special back-to-school message for teachers and students from Louisiana's brand new Teacher of the Year.
Be excited, like do all the things. What a special job. Every single year, it's like we open a new business. We're open for business. And to the kids, you're your teacher's teammate. Like you're in there too. You're part of what makes that company work. So like the business, room 104, it's gonna be popping. Everybody's room needs to be popping the first day. And so I know we get tired, we get weary, like we know that, but have fun with it, because over the course of our entire careers, we only get to do this for 3,000 people. Like that's not a lot. And like the blink of an eye, it's all going to be over. Every year, go in with the butterflies, go in just like the kids. They're nervous, teachers are nervous, and just be there for each other and realize you're all on the team.
Also, congratulations to Thomas Byler from North Vermilion High School in Maurice, Louisiana. He was named Louisiana's Principal of the Year.
What a great person, poppin'. It's a business. It's going to be poppin' August 9th.
It's going to be poppin' when she pulls up in that brand new Mercedes, let me tell you that.
We met her yesterday. She's so great. So congratulations to her in that school and all those students that get, to be in her presence. That's awesome. All right, 5:48, 72 degrees. We'll be back.
Well, we're used to heat here in South Louisiana, but residents of cities up and down the West Coast are in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, forecasters are predicting a rare and dangerous heat wave today. Temperatures reaching triple digits. ABC's Candace Gibson has more on the record heat.
This morning, the Pacific Northwest in the grips of a historic heat wave.
Being out on the water is great and cool off and get in the shade.
In Seattle, the thermometer could hit triple digits this week. That's only happened 3 times in the past 123 years. A major concern because only a third of homes in the metropolitan area have air conditioning.
I'm going to go jump in a lake.
And Portland, Oregon, expecting the strongest heat wave in nearly a decade. Highs there reaching 107 degrees.
Today it's been swamped. We've sold about 130 or 140 pieces of air conditioners, probably sold about 150 fans. Probably this time next week, we will be very close to being out.
And all that heat fueling major wildfires. At least 48 fires are burning, including this one north of Sacramento. And this massive fire billowing smoke in northern Washington state. It's been burning for days and only 11% contained. Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
I can tell you, I lived there for 12 years and it never got that hot. That's ridiculous. Although they never got the humidity like we do down here as well. And that humidity comes back today and it'll help kind of fuel some showers today, not only today, but into tomorrow as well. The showers do return mainly south of Baton Rouge. It'll be closer toward this evening. We'll see more tomorrow as the atmosphere gets more unsettled and we see more scattered showers and thunderstorms. As far as the tropics are concerned, Emily's gone. We're watching a couple other areas. We'll talk about those in about 20 minutes or so. 72 degrees is the current temperature right now. The sun is starting to filter a little bit of light through the atmosphere, but there's more cloud cover today than there was yesterday. Winds are still very light out of the east-northeast, but they're going to start to shift a little bit more today toward the east and eventually toward the south, bringing in more humidity across the area. Rainfall, not so much here across southeast Louisiana, but you can see as far north as Grant Parish and Natchitoches Parish. That's where we're seeing the showers and some heavy pockets of rain falling. Nothing intense, though. Not looking at any thunderstorms there. Now, as we move into the afternoon and really early evening today, we could see a few isolated thunderstorms. You can see some of these starting to bubble up along the coast, mainly around 3 p.m. As we get closer toward the evening hours, that's when we see a few more of these pop up. And we could see a few isolated showers tonight and then even early tomorrow morning as we'll see some coverage across the Baton Rouge area. So this time tomorrow, we could be dealing with some rain across the Baton Rouge area. And then Friday, too, looking at some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Today, getting up to 87 degrees. Again, isolated storms mainly toward the south. Tonight, getting down to about 74 degrees, so not as cool as the last couple mornings, partly cloudy. Getting back to that muggy feel, some light east winds. Your 7-day forecast shows better chance of rain through the next several days, mainly tomorrow and Friday, tapering that a bit Saturday and Sunday and even into Monday. The rain could help keep us out of the 90s. Let's go ahead and get an update with traffic with Ashley Frugier.
Thanks, Robert. 5:55, and right now any congestion crossing over the river has cleared up, so I-10 westbound is good to go. No major backups this morning traveling in this direction, as well as southbound on LA1. Earlier, we did see a little slowdown over the Intercoastal Canal Bridge, but all of that pretty normal stuff. Checking out 73, slowdowns on the southbound side over in Dutchtown as you're approaching 74, and then northbound from Cornerview Road up towards 74. So kind of headed towards 74. We're seeing that slowdown in both directions. Let's go ahead and take a look outside now. On the west side, work is being picked up. It is looks like at this time both lanes are open. We still have some construction crews out there. Excuse me, that's hard to get out of my mouth sometimes. Construction crews. So let's go to west side. You're continuing your drive, and we did not see any delays this morning. All right, let's toss it back to Kylie and JP.
It is hard to say, Ashley. It's all right. Hey, still to come, our second hour of Tune In with more news, weather, and traffic.
But first, it's time to honor America with the Daily Pledge. And to lead us this morning, some patriotic campers in Hannah Cleveland's group from the Parkview Baptist Eagle Experience Summer Camp.
WBRZ News 2 and the Baton Rouge Clinic are proud to bring you